Hello and welcome to the Sideboard. I'm Ruben Bressler, and I am joined by Michael Hetrick, who has brought blue, white, red. I don't know, is it aggro?
Not really. Mid-range-ish.
Mid-range, control, something.
Definitely more controlling than aggro, for sure.
It's a deck that's become relatively popular in recent weeks. It's sort of fallen out of favor, then came back when Zombies became more popular because it has Pillar Flame.
Yes.
Your take on it is slightly different than a lot of other players. Tell us about what you've done with the deck.
I agree with Jerry about a lot of things, but the biggest things that I've changed are Desperate Ravings, which is, in my opinion, a really powerful card for this deck. And then the other thing is Devil's Play, and that's also just because of Desperate Ravings. You want to be able to discard your win conditions and still win the game.
Right.
And so Devil's Play does that.
So let's talk about those two changes. First, Desperate Ravings. Card is awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool.
But when you are discarding your one of Runechanter's Pike,
that's
bad.
really awkward when you discard your Runechanter's Pike. And the same thing is true with Thought Scour. You can just mill it, and then you don't have Pike anymore.
So why is Desperate Ravings better than Think Twice?
Think Twice is really simple. It's just draw one card. It's not powerful at all. Whereas Desperate Ravings has the potential to be really powerful. You can actually draw 3 or maybe 4 cards even if you're lucky enough that matter. So it's way more powerful. And then also the deck has plenty of graveyard interactions, so discarding is usually fine.
Sure. And then the other change that you mentioned is the oftentimes win condition is one of Runechanter's Pike.
Yep.
You went with the Devil's Play instead.
Yep.
Which is a really weird choice, if you don't mind me saying. I don't think I've seen anybody switching that.
No, it might seem weird, but in my opinion, it's actually really powerful. Games go pretty long. Although people do tend to gain a lot of life, so Devil's Play may not win every game, but it can deal between 9 and 13 damage if it comes down to that. Okay. And of course, Jerry didn't have Geist, and with Geist, it's a lot easier to win without Pike.
Sure. Now, I do notice that you don't have Pike, but you still have one Moorland Hunt. Is that sort of a holdover?
Yes. Well, because you have Desperate Raving still and Thought Scour, there's still a lot of synergy with that.
I see. So let's move quickly to the sideboard, and there's a card in your sideboard that has been picking up a lot of popularity in the last, week and a half, and that's Is It Staticaster? Tell me about Is It Staticaster?
Well, at first I didn't think that was really one of the reasons we wanted to play red in this deck. I thought it was just Pillar, but actually after playing with it, it is really powerful in a lot of matchups. And that's why you actually want to have all 4, because it's so good, you want to draw every game against certain matchups, and you even want to draw multiples. So it's just a really powerful card right now.
Yeah, it's actually the redundancy of Is It Staticaster is awesome for when you're playing against opponents with Intangible Virtues or Huntmaster of the Fells, things
There's
like
lots
that.
of stuff.
Yeah.
Just being able to deal 2 damage to any creature, it just wipes out lots of strategies.
And of course, you're going with the traditional sideboard plan of Jace Memory Adept.
Yep, I thought Jerry had another good idea there. Against some matchups, you just need to have a different win condition, and Jace is perfect for that.
And you also, it looks like you sort of shift gears in some matchups with your Supreme
Very
Verdicts.
much so, yes. We kind of just go from, we're kind of a control deck already, but we really go into being a real control deck with the Supreme Verdicts and then the Staticasters as well against some matchups.
So tell me about some of the matchups. The one I'm most interested in this weekend is how people are adapting to the big black-red decks that have Thundermaw Hellkites and Hellriders now in addition to their Grave Crawlers.
Well, I do expect that to be the most popular deck, but I didn't do a lot of testing against it. I just assumed we have Pillars, so we're going to be good in that matchup. We have Azorius Charm for the big creatures. Dissipate, actually still not the worst against them, surprisingly, even though they have Cavern, because their Caverns get so spread apart. You can usually counter a Dragon or a Hellrider or a Devil, or Aristocrat. You can counter something.
Yeah, something gets counted, because most of the time it names zombies, and all those top-end guys aren't that creature type. Excellent. Well, you're undefeated so far.
2-0.
2-0, already defeated David Williams.
Right.
Although that was a
little unfair.
A little unfair. He got sort of caught up on mana, but we're going to keep track of you throughout the day, and of course, we always expect you to do well.
Yep.
Michael, thank you for joining me.
Thank you, Ruben.